how you run your office, how you make things as efficient, as quick, so you spend less time doing admin and more time working on your shows. Yay! So, what is a back office? This is what we're going to be referring to it as. A back office is essentially, if you had an assistant, what tasks would they be doing for you? So this is not so much remedial tasks, but these are tasks that repeat themselves, tasks that can be made more efficient, tasks that can be made quicker and easier for everyone. So that's what I mean when I say running your back office. So first thing first is identifying time killers. This is the things that make your back office work slower, work worse. And these are the things that you can improve on to make things more efficient. So social media is a ridiculous time killer for everyone. So if you think about it, yes, you may use your social media as your marketing, as your campaigning, but are you also spending 3 hours scrolling Facebook? You don't have to lie to yourselves. Honestly, social media is a huge time killer. If you are going to use social media as part of your business plan and use it as part of your marketing, then use a system like Hootsuite. Now, I'm going to talk about Hootsuite a bit more later, but a quick rundown on what Hootsuite does. It's a social media management system. You connect all your accounts to it. You create posts on Hootsuite. So you could say, spend a day every month creating a month worth of posts. Hootsuite will send this out to all your accounts at the same time. They will all link back to each other. And that way you're using social media to its fullest potential because you're marketing on it, but you're not actually wasting your time on it. So another way of identifying a huge time killer is getting a little device called a Timeular. Timeular is a little device, it's about this big. You basically sit that on your desk and you can write on it what it is you're doing. So you could have a little coffee symbol on it, you could have a sticker on it that says social media, a sticker that says admin tasks, a little sticker that says training, and you rotate this device depending on what it is you're doing. That device will then register all the hours that you spend on those particular tasks, and it will notify you them at the end of each week. You can check them as you're going as well, but that device is amazing figuring out like, oh shit, I spent 3 hours on coffee breaks today. Like, you can figure out quick holes in what's killing your time very quickly with something like that.
What's it called again?
Timeular.
Timeular.
Timeular. Timeular. Hootsuite. Like hoot like an owl, and then suite like a bathroom suite.
Sweet like sugar.
No, not sweet as in sweeties. I know you're all hungry. So another massive time killer is searching for information. You know, searching for a contract, looking through your emails for a contract, searching for the right promo photo, all that stuff is ridiculous time killers because you're not just going to be doing it once, you're going to be doing it 20, 30 times a month. So you can get rid of all that. We're going to talk a little bit about how you organize your information a little bit later to show you how you can basically scrap all that searching, because if you're searching for information, you're wasting time. So repeating information. This is normally an error most people make with promotional work and things like that. You may have multiple copies of the same image. I'm not saying don't have a backup. Have your backup in a completely separate place though. You don't need a backup on the same computer. That's not how backups work. So with your information, just have the one copy of it. If you have it, say if you have your fire show risk assessment, but you've got 17 different variations of it, that's not helpful whatsoever. You're going to be searching through those different versions to figure out which one you need to send off. So with repeating information, delete it all. Just get rid of it all, buy an external hard drive, do your backup onto that, forget about your backup, and just do a backup each month. Now, additional journeys they're also a huge time killer. So just something as simple as planning your day correctly. There's plenty of apps now that if you need to do multiple journeys in the day, you put all those postcodes into the app and it will tell you the most efficient route through all those journeys. So just using something like that, just identifying where you lose your time in the day. Because I bet you all feel like you're flat out busy. So you're like, where am I going to fit all this in? You can find those extra hours by doing this sort of stuff. Doubling your accounting. What we're going to be talking about in some of this is using accounting software. Let's get rid of the Word doc for your invoicing file and get rid of the spreadsheet. Let's just move to accounting software. It's way easier. You don't have to re-input information if you need accounting reports or anything like that. It's all there. If you're having to use a Word doc, say, to create your PDF template for your invoice, and then you're having to copy and paste all that information into a spreadsheet just so you know what your income and outgoing is, you're doubling your tasks there, and that's not efficient. So that generally goes for most things. Try not to do things twice, just do them once, and you'll be more efficient. So chasing payments is also a huge time killer. You know, chasing clients up. If you are ever working direct with a client, you can ask for full payment up front. You can ask for 50% up front. Now, we've all moved over, a lot of us guys, to you get 50% up front, 50% a week before the booking. Most clients are fine with that. That way, you're never having to chase a payment either. With agents, you may encounter a bit of an issue with that, as most agencies are between 30 and 90 days payment terms. Most agents will honour that. Most agents will just pay you when they say they're going to pay you. If you're finding particular agents that are repeatedly late on payments, then you need to raise that as a concern with them and say, because you've been repeatedly late on payments, I require payment up front, otherwise I'm not going to work for you. And it's fine to raise that sort of thing. You need to set your boundaries and stick with them. So ask yourself, sorry, I'm dying of caffeine addiction. So when you have any task in the day, identify and ask yourself, is that a necessary task? So think of a task you have to do at the minute and ask yourself, is that really necessary? I've got maybe 20 people at the minute who are wanting to buy bespoke fire props from me. I say, is that necessary? Eventually, maybe. It's not really necessary for me to do at the minute. That sort of side of me can wait for a while. So, do you need that? Like, look at something. If you're thinking of buying something, ask yourself if you really, really need it. So, is it actually going to benefit you? And the big question is, does it feed me? So, when you're looking at a task, look at the end goal of the task and figure out, does it actually benefit you in that way? So, can you actually see the root of your task that you're doing at the minute to it creating income for yourself? That's basically the underlying question. So, can anyone think of some tasks that might be a bit iffy with that? So, okay, making another costume. I've got lots of costumes, so maybe it's not necessary. Say I don't have many costumes, maybe it is a necessity. Do I need that? Greatest Showman 2 is coming out, I need a Ringmaster jacket. Does it feed me? Yes, because Greatest Showman's paid my rent for a year. So you can see a direct route there. But say you have a slightly older Ringmaster jacket, say it's a bit worn out, is it necessary that you do the repairs on that? Maybe not so. Does it feed you? Well, your promo photos still look the same. Unless you're starting to get a bad habit for coming into a job with a jacket covered in sig burns or something like that, then maybe it doesn't benefit you doing the repairs on that. So maybe it's more worthwhile of your time putting your effort into something else. Okay? Now, A couple of other ways of thinking about it is it necessary now? That fire props example is a great example of that, because it's like, no, I'm too busy right now, but yes, eventually I can put that somewhere. So I would shift that to later. And that's a great way of thinking about a lot of things, is you're not putting them off, you're moving them to later. Never just say, oh, I'm saving that for another day, and it just gets pushed down your to-do list for 6 years. Just move it to another time when you know you've got more time available for stuff. The other opposite of that is, can you bring it forwards? Which is, if you say, well, all you guys basically should be setting yourself a really nice big to-do list ready for January and February, because there's not going to be a lot of work around. That is the time of the year to get all your projects done, to do your new promotional work, to do your new website, to do absolutely everything. However, if you find you've got a quiet week in November, why not start on that work that you've got in January right now? It's counterintuitive to the is it necessary questions, but if you're getting things done earlier, why not? It makes sense. So, streamlining. Just making things as efficient as possible. So identify your periodical tasks and figure out the fastest way to do them. You can do this in like super tiny tasks as well as major tasks. Say showering. I learned the military technique for showering, so now I can do a shower in under 2 minutes. Everyone's looking at me like, you stink. But there is certain methods you can use to basically do things as fast as possible. Say contracting. We have a contract system. We originally used this system as it was separate Word documents. We would have a call with the client. The client would tell us the information over the phone. I would write it into the client confirmation. Once they've signed, I would then write it again into the performer confirmation. Then I would do my Word document invoice, send that over as well. And then I would have to contract the performers and then put this all somewhere so I knew what was happening. That's a super laborious task. That's like 7 different tasks that I can actually streamline into 2. And the way I did that is I created a database software. You can get OpenOffice database on all your computers. It's very simple to use. And you can create a database. Then you send the client a booking form. That booking form is filled in by the client. You know the information is correct. They're verifying it as correct then. And you just copy and paste that information directly into your database. That database then automatically creates 2 documents. It'll create your performer contract and your client confirmation. So those then can go straight off to your client. And at the same time, you can do invoicing software, and then all you're doing is copy and pasting the invoice line from your booking form and putting that into your accounting software. So I've just changed like 7 tasks into 2 tasks. So you can see how you can figure out the fastest, most efficient way to do something. And that could save you an hour a day if you're getting plenty of bookings. Identifying repeating tasks and creating templates. So who uses booking form templates? Okay, everyone use a booking form template. So we're moving on to another slide that tells you what information you need to collect, but you can use canned responses on Gmail, use those canned responses, and then it's just clicking one button and all of a sudden the booking template's there and you just say, hi, thank you very much for the call earlier. Here's the booking form, please fill it out. Sweet, you've completely never have to write out another booking form ever again. Other tasks might be your invoicing, just don't use Word document, just use accounting software, it's way easier. Can anyone think of any other templates you might use? Contracts? Yeah, use a contract template.
State Rider. Or
Tech Rider, yep, exactly. Risk assessments, exactly.
General kit checklist.
Kit checklists, yeah. Just having a to-do list, a separate to-do list on your phone, and each act has its own to-do list, and then you know to just go check, 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 check. It's all in the car. I'm not going to start pitching Bezel to you all yet, but that's basically the app that we're building. It does all that. Yeah. So you can do your pre-event check. That could be a complete...
Location, transport, everything.
Well, that should all be in your encompassed by your contract, essentially. But your pre-event check, you could even set up a timed response email, and that email automatically goes out a week before your booking, and it does your pre-event check. You know, checking the finer details of this is when we're arriving, just so you know who will meet us at that time. Where is our green room? Things like that. You know, all your little details that you want to check. That can all be templated as well. Now, deleting redundant information, that's what we're talking about with these double things in your hard drive and stuff like that. But even your calendars, like delete all the information that you know is not going ahead. There's no reason for you to keep that. Even deleting your emails and stuff. Your emails should just be your active inquiries. It shouldn't be a list of 50,000 emails that you've got to scroll through to find the correct one. As soon as you know a job's gone to contract, it's archived away, and you know you don't have to worry about that. Your emails should really look like just what you need to concentrate on the minute. Anything else will appear when it appears, right?